Guys, so welcome back to my channel. I know you see me in the same outfit, but that's because I'm trying to knock these videos out. But yeah, I'm coming to you guys with a story time about a time that I saw a demon. And so I know you're probably like, you saw a what? But yes, I saw a demon. And I'll start by saying this was not at my home, but this was at my parents' old home way back in Killeen. They no longer live there, but that's besides the point. I'm going to paint the picture. So during college, when I was in college, I would always go back to Killeen during the weekends because I needed something to help with my my mental stability in regards to the craziness and the rat race of going to school and working at the same time. So I would often escape during the weekends and go to my parents' house and drive home and stay at my parents'. And so I was staying in our office, and I was staying on a blow-up mattress in the office. And while I was sleeping in there, it was probably maybe like 8 o'clock at night, maybe 9 o'clock at night. But yeah, I was laying there and I was on my laptop. And I was watching YouTube videos, probably YouTube videos that I probably didn't need to watch that were not helping my walk with God. I'm exposing myself. So yeah, something that I knew that I probably shouldn't have been watching basically, and I was being convicted. And while I was being convicted, I was like, well, it's not gonna hurt anybody, so I continued to watch it. And so while I was continuing to watch it, I looked over, and I'm gonna paint the picture. I'm laying in my bed like this, well, not the bed, the air mattress, like this, and I had the laptop on top of my stomach, and so I'm just, watching what have you, and it's dark in the room, and so I look over, and as I'm watching, I see something, and what I see is a tiki head. And so I hurry up and I move my laptop and I face it towards the area that I saw the tiki head. And I'm like, Sam? That's the first thing that came out of my mouth. Sam is my baby brother. So I thought it was my younger baby brother with the mask on. So I got up and I'm like, I'm trying to figure out. So I got up and I got out of the bed / air mattress, and I'm looking over and I'm like, and then I look over the air mattress and nothing and nobody was there. And I sat there and I pondered and I'm like, am I tripping? And I had to think to myself, I really thought it was either my brother or my baby sister with a mask on, because literally this thing was sitting on the air, holding the air mattress like this, peeking over at me. And then when it saw me make eye contact and try to move my laptop to see, it ducked its head. And I was like, am I tripping? I'm like, I know I'm not tripping. And so I was like, well, because at this point, I'm not afraid of demons. I'm not afraid of anything spiritual anymore because I know the Lord has me. So fast forward the next day, I'm talking to my mom and I'm like, I saw something weird, and then I was like, never mind, because I didn't want to freak them out. And she's like, what? You saw what? She's like, just tell me. I was like, yeah, but I don't want y'all to be scared, and I don't want y'all to feel unsafe. And she's like, just tell me. I probably saw it too. And so I was like, well, the other day I saw a tiki watching me do something that I knew I wasn't supposed to be doing, and then it ducked, and I thought it was Sam, but when I got up to check, nobody was there. And she was like, she's like, that's funny because I saw something run through the house the other day. And I was like, I was shook. I was really shook because when you say these stories to people or to your family members, you think, oh, they're not going to believe it. But for her to confirm it, it's like, and so me knowing that revealed to me something about certain things that are ancient. So I believe tikis are Polynesian culture. Oftentimes you'll see it in Hawaii or what have you. But that tells me that they weren't just creating these tiki figures just to be creating them. They created them because they once saw them before. They're not just sculptures that they just created just because they felt like it. It's because they've seen these beings before and they've encountered these beings before. And that also confirms the fact to me that there is demonic and fallen angels that had came down and were teaching the ancient people certain things and having contact with them. If you understand what the Bible says about how the fallen angels were coming down, taking wives for themselves and getting married, you would understand that those ancient beings that they were worshiping were actually fallen angels. And they were actually coming down and teaching them. And those same fallen angels got locked out of heaven. So, a lot of times people don't believe that fallen angels or demonic presences were walking and roaming the earth, and that they don't roam the earth because it's not something that you see often. But I'm trying to think, and I'm wondering if I wasn't supposed to see it, but if they were just too slow, I don't know, or if I was at that time beginning to see in the spirit. But I've always kind of seen things since I was younger, but I'd be like, I'm tripping. But no, that time I clearly saw there was a tiki sitting there staring at me, watch me do sin. And I say it's sin because I was being convicted about it. If I'm being convicted about something, I probably shouldn't be watching it. And so that's very interesting, and that is just how Satan works and how demonic spirits work. They sit there and they watch you and they want you to engage in stuff that you have no business engaging in. They want you to do things that are destructive to you, and they'll sit there and watch you do it too. And that's another thing with like familiar spirits and how those who are mediums tap into that demonic side, and they're able to tell you stuff about a person that nobody knows but you and that person. If it's something personal, that's because there's a familiar spirit that had been watching that person throughout their lifetime, demonic. And so that's how they're able to tell you details about stuff, is because they've been watching, just like how I told you the tiki was watching me like this and then ducking. But anyway, so that's a whole nother video of me talking about fallen angels and stuff. But understand how these things work and begin to understand that it's real. It's real. And just because you haven't seen it before, understand that I've seen it before and it's real. Oh, I have to go back and say this. So whenever I would go to my parents' house, I would always go and I would anoint whatever I had, and I would be going through the house praying. You're not about to be in this house, so I anoint whatever I have. If it's perfume, I'll anoint that. If it's some oil, I'll get that and I'll put it on my hands and I'll begin to go down the door, the walls. The Lord is about to rebuke you and it's about to get out. Oh yeah. So I'd often go into my family's house and I'd be praying and casting out, especially when I was in the shower, praying, casting out, because the enemy for some reason likes to attack my family. I don't know. But you learn how to wage wars spiritually and not carnally, which is through prayer and tearing down. It's just interesting, you guys, because of the fact that anytime the enemy wants to attack me, what it'll do is it'll attack my family to get my focus off, so I'm not warring and praying the way that I need to. So I'll come out of my position and focus on that thing that they're doing in my family in order to have me unfocused from being able to fight spiritually. And so as time went on, I've recognized that, and I began to wage war spiritually and pray despite how the enemy's trying to attack my family in whatever way. And so I urge you guys to do the same thing. Make sure that you stay focused. And I exposed myself in this video. I exposed that demonic presence, and it's all for the glory of God, because it's important that you know this stuff so that you'll know how to fight these things. What I did, like I said, I went through and I was praying against whatever was in there. My mom was probably praying as well. strength in numbers. But yeah, so just make sure that you are mindful of these things. They do exist. Don't allow the enemy to trick you into thinking that these things don't exist, but because they do. But yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.